Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for another day of the AMX League, Season 4. It is global, and we have people from all over the world racing, commentating, working behind the scenes. Everyone's getting involved in a brand new season of AMX. This is AMX 1's NASCAR class race coming at you tonight with the Xfinity cars on the Michigan International Speedway. We are going fast out here, and I'm not going fast alone. It's a great day to be joined by one of my favorite sim racing commentators in the world, Connor Nixon. And I have to specify that because I think we also have Connor Healy, also from Australia, who's in no way related, right, Connor?
I don't think we're related. If we are, I might need to get in contact, but no.
Yeah, you have the same first name, so that's how you can tell, right? Same place, same first name. It's over, done, absolutely confirmed.
Yeah,
this is our sim racing version of Maury. Anyway, it's great to have you alongside, Connor, because we not only have a lot to talk about as far as the cars and the tracks and the people racing and all that good nonsense, but otherwise, I just want to give a big shout out to, Connor has been along with us for a lot of races and wasn't actually supposed to be here today, but now joining us in spite of having, I think you said you actually have a race coming up in just a few hours, right?
Yeah, I've actually got like a full league OSR. It's called OSR, but it's a full Bathurst 12-hour that they're running, and it's in 3 hours, and I've had about 4 hours of sleep for the last 30 hours, I think. So, yeah, I was like, I've got AMX today. Then it said, you're not running today. And then I've text Fred and go, I'm ready to go. And he's like, you're supposed to not be running, but yeah, get on. But yeah, it's that's what I'm doing today. But yeah, it's always good to be around and have a good chat with you, Raina, as usual.
Why, thank you. No, I concur. So you said you have a race coming up. You're on Bathurst. I'm guessing that's a supercars race because that's what you're mostly into, right?
It's actually not. It's GT3s, which is not my ballpark, but I'm trying to get into. I've went over the horizon, as they call, and trying different things. I've actually tried a NASCAR recently, which I'm doing another league on. So yeah, GT3s, which obviously we've seen a lot of that recently, Reed. Obviously we've had them at Road Atlanta, we've had them at, trying to think of that other track, Spa, I think we had them at, and the Porsche Cups as well, which you can classify as a GT3, but I know everyone would have a bit of a bit of a stitch up on about that. But yeah, so yeah, something different, and yeah, I think GT3s are such a great car to drive, and yeah, it should be fun. But yeah, we're here talking about AMX, so enough about me going on about my racing.
Well, this is where you flex your sim racing credentials. I've raced professionally, which means that you're just as good as everyone out there who's watching our broadcast right now. Because in order to watch our broadcast, you have to be a veteran professional sim racer. So that's why we've gathered all of the best ones and put them in our Twitch and YouTube chats. So let's go ahead and get things started. Good to chat with you a little bit, Connor. Good to have you on the broadcast. And it's good to have everybody else along for the ride with us today in Season 4. If you're new to Season 4, listen up. We'll run through a little bit of housekeeping, let you know what's going on today. For the next 3 months, we are running a $20,000 sim racing league. It's on iRacing and Assetto Corsa. Today is on iRacing. We got 68 total races this year. We're getting along into it. Already about 10 races through and coming up on 11. The race format is by far the most unique thing. It's a ton of fun to run. It's 20-minute qualifier, 20-minute heat 1, and then a 20-minute heat 2 with a top 15 reverse grid in between. Makes things a lot of fun. No matter what skill level you're at, there's always a race for you. Make sure to turn on your video camera, whether it's on your phone or your computer, whatever you want to do. Join via video link on the AMX Discord, AMX Global Discord. Just Google that and join it. Or you can find it on amxrace.com, our website, where you can sign up to race anytime, amxrace.com. When you win, I said when, you win over $100, we'll pay that out to you in $100 increments once a month. And if you want to come racing with us, it's Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Today is Saturday most places in the world. So if it is that day for you, then come out and join us. You can join at any time during qualifiers, which should be happening just about now. So we'll be getting into that in just a second once we break down our schedule and a few other bits of information. This is 5:50 p.m. GMT, so right down the middle of England. That is where it's 5:50 p.m. right now. Wherever it is for you, whatever time it is now, that's when we go racing for AMX 1. And about an hour and a half later, that's when we're getting into AMX 10 at 7:20 p.m. on Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Same time every time. So if you got the schedule down, that's when it's at. Here's a look at the prize pool breakdown. And this is one of the best parts about AMX because it doesn't matter if you place first, second, 15th, whatever, you're still going home with a little bit of money in your pocket. And we're giving away money for qualifiers, Heat 1 and Heat 2. And we're not really giving it away. We're kind of making you earn it. But no matter where you are on that spectrum from first to 15th, you guys have a chance to cash out whether you place highly in any of our 3 sections tonight. $100 on the line every AMX 1 race, and it is free, or it's open to enter. The entrants are as open as it gets. So here's a look at a few of our best racers, starting off, of course, with my co-cat. Oh, sorry. I get that. I make a mistake. Connor Healy in number 1 spot with Facundo Arago right underneath, Diego Villarreal, Aaron Vasquez, Matias Machado, and Mauricio Lozano round out the top 6 of the AMX 1 top 12. Then we got a heavy play all the way down to Roberto Bruno there, 7 to 12th, and a lot of great racers. And you see the amount that they've changed on the sides. So the big winner so far is Diego Villarreal. He's climbed 11 spots. Oh my God, how do you do that? There's only 12 people on the list. So yeah, it is really, really fun to see so many racers come out here and do so well. $38. This guy's raced 3 times, cashed out almost $40. Really good to see Connor Healy do so well up front. And some newcomers like Nico and Roberto Bruno join and actually excel quite a bit. That's a look at AMX 10 Top 12. If you want to get on the list, head over to amxrace.com where you can race for even less than normal. Racers are usually $1 for AMX 1, $10 for AMX 10. That's where the names come from. But if you get in a little bit early and purchase your race ticket up to 3 days before the race itself, you get a 30% off discount. So you can head over and check out any of the races this season. And then you can also get even more of a discount if you purchase a season ticket. It's a tab up at the top of amxrace.com, 50% off if you buy a season pass, which gets you access to any of the races for each class that is racing today, or this season, rather. So there's a NASCAR class that we're racing first. There's front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, GT class, and all sorts of ways to race in AMX Global League Season 4. And that is just about it for the housekeeping, which means it's time for me to throw things over to Connor Nixon to talk us through what and where we are racing at today.
Thank you, Reid. Housekeeping as usual. You never go wrong with that one. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at Michigan Speedway, one of the most, I would say, iconic racetracks in NASCAR in general, and in America as well. It's 3 kilometers, which is pretty big for an oval. You average from 3 kilometers to 1 kilometer to 5 kilometers, so it's in the middle. Opened up in 1968, so yeah, it's kind of in the middle with how old it is. We've seen tracks that have opened up in 1925, which is just insane. And and it's in the USA. So moving on to the car now. This is quite an interesting one. These cars are probably one of my favorites when it comes to NASCAR in general. These are the glory cars of the NASCAR Xfinity. So 600 horsepower, rear wheel drive, 1,500 kilos and a manual gearbox. So old school gearbox, 4 gears. They normally just stay in 4th gear and just brake around the corner. So they're quite heavy. You can cook the tire quite easily, and they're very good fun to drive. I haven't really perfected them yet, but I'm sure that these drivers will today.
Yeah, and you actually said you got a chance to check out a little bit of NASCAR racing, Connor. Were you racing the Xfinity or the Cup cars?
I was actually driving the Cup car. I'm actually practicing for Daytona 500, which, ladies and gentlemen, that is probably the hardest, by far the hardest event you could ever do. And talking about the hardest events, I tried to bring that, but Michigan, very hard track. I've raced a lot of IndyCar around here. It's very banked, Reed. It's not very flat like we see a lot of oval tracks these days. Just a lot of banking. So yeah, the right hand side tires are going to be, I would say, a bit warm.
Yeah, no, I mean the banking itself is huge. In the turns, the camber or the bankment is, I think, 18 degrees, which is pretty darn big. A little bit of a spin off there. No one hurt in the execution of that emergency stop. But yeah, start finish, you're still starting on a 12-degree embankment. The backstretch is 5, which is the flattest it gets, but 18 degrees in the turn is massive. That means you can do things like that. You can really keep up a lot of this speed, and that's why it's, of course, called a speedway. Excellent naming decision. And we had a couple of questions I saw pop through in the chat. Once again, a big welcome to everybody who is watching us from anywhere in the world. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends. Get them out here and watch some of the action today. The question was, are there any Americans racing? And in fact, there are. And you can see that either by looking on our screen or by going to our live timing. Which, if you did, would show you that there are, in fact, 2 Americans racing today. And they are, of course, Kevin Garcia and Randall Turner, who are coming up to show us what these Chevys can do.
And we're going to go to the other side of the globe, and Connor Healy, the Altus driver, he's in Australia. He's been very dominant this season. We've seen he's won one race, and I think he's raced 2 of those races. So he's done a really good performance so far, and taking home most of the money these days. So he's I reckon he might. I reckon the other competitors, I reckon they might get a little annoyed with that. So we're going to be riding on board with Rago here on the back straight, and here he goes to start his lap. And Reed, have you done much NASCAR? Have you dipped into it yet?
I'm American, and NASCAR, of course, a great American pastime at many of the iconic tracks, like the one that we're racing at today. I was exposed to it very early on, but it really wasn't my thing. I was like, okay, race cars should look like race cars, and these just look like cars. Unfortunately, under the hood, they are monsters. And I think that along with many other people, are new NASCAR fans, thanks in part to Full Speed, their new sort of Drive to Survive style Netflix show, which is turning everybody into a NASCAR fan. I actually got a message from one of my friends that has nothing to do with racing at all. I don't even know if they own a car. And they're like, hey, you know about NASCAR? You're from America. I was like, well, yeah, why do you ask? Like, I was watching this show on Netflix, and it looks like pretty cool. I was like, oh, I mean, if you can get some random people from random places to start thinking about talking about NASCAR, then that's a pretty strong effect. And it's not just because the show is cool, it's because actually these leagues, these cars are cool. So of course, thanks to our grand overlord Comcast for making the Xfinity cars and series what it is. Because if they didn't, I would have to say, welcome to the Budweiser Late Model Sportsman Series cars. And I'm not saying that, Connor. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you've nailed it there. I think I've got into NASCAR recently. Obviously, Shane Van Gisbergen's got into it, and I'm a bit of a mate of Shane in the background there. I've done a lot of races with him online, so it's kind of one of those things where I've got into NASCAR because of Full Speed and because my mate's doing it. So yeah, it's I think NASCAR is starting to get more and more popular, and I think the other thing that's getting popular is country music as well. So America's starting to get up there with all their little quirks. So talking about quirks, here's our qualifying results. I tell you what, that's pretty surprising to see Connor in 4th there, but Rago on top, only 600ths there, so it's starting to get really tight, and he's giving us a wave. And look at those fingers. He's happy about the result. And Reed, you can take it the rest of the way with those results.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Facundo Rago a little bit earlier. He comes through at P1. It's an all-Argentinian podium here through qualifiers with Fabrizio Belziti and Lautaro right below him. Yeah, we're going to be hearing a little bit from Facundo Rago a little bit later on, as he will join us on the broadcast for AMX 10 when Connor has to go win some races. So it's going to be a really cool broadcast today, and it's awesome to see these racers get started. Now, this is a great finish not only for Facundo Rago, but also for Voracious GG. Voracious Racing, one of the best South American racing teams that is out there. And they've been hugely active in AMX Global League from Season 3, Season 4. And they're really killing it, specifically Facundo Rago. So it's great to see them do so well in qualifiers. But now they face their biggest challenge yet, the reverse grid. It's going to put them all the way at the back of the field. And as the pace car gets going, we're going to get going with the first of our laps here to start off heat number 1. As a look at the grid, Kevin Garcia in second place, along with Randall Turner, the Americans starting off at the front of the grid.
Yeah, the Americans are starting off, and Diego starting in P3 in the SART. My brain's kind of ticking away because there's an Australian team that is SRT, so it's kind of messing up my brain there. But Diego in P3 there, Connor Healy in the Altus car as well, and the guys a little bit further back, as we know, that got the top 3 there. The Argentinians being very successful around here so far. And I see some different manufacturers in that team. They got a Supra, they got a Mustang. I think it's 2 Mustangs. So I've always loved the manufacturers in NASCAR there. They went from Chevs, Mustangs, and then they added Camrys on board. So it's good to see that Toyota got involved a little bit later down the track. And yeah, we're going to start. I really hope we're going to start seeing some German manufacturers maybe in the series. And who knows, maybe it might open up. So here we go. We're going to start off this race with a bang of AMX. This will be a good little race, 31 laps, a little bit of contact with the 2 Americans. And we're going to go green. And about 3, 2, 1, boogity, boogity, boogity. We're going racing. Lap 1,
there it
clear
is.
wide, 4 wide.
Oh,
it's contact. 98 spun. The American Connor Healy having contact. Who's that in the background? Car 55 going around. And the Argentinians into P3 and P2.
wow, yeah, a beautiful start for the Voracious Racers as they speed their way towards the lead. Diego Villarreal takes the biggest lead up there in front by a second. And look at all this passing that's going on as Belziti zooming through. So, yeah, really, really good start there for Diego. Not so much for our Americans who go first to last. Diego, I think, might have a penalty from the race start. I think Diego and Connor Healy have gone back to the pit lane. I believe they either got black flagged or they have some connection issues. I'm guessing it's a penalty for the race start. But either way, like I said earlier, it's a great time to be from Argentina. The back to front is completed already, and we're only 2 laps in. A great start for Belziti and Facundo Rago.
Yeah, they had a really good start there. They had good momentum. I saw they had a bit of a run up to turn 1. And talking about turn 1, lap 1 is finished, and we're riding on board with the American Kevin on board. So we can see the American flag on the bonnet, and he's going to start going on up the inside. And you can see the lines with Michigan. You can take a good 3 lines around here. I've noticed you can go high then low, or you can stay in that midline, which I found there's a lot of grip there. So it's going to be interesting seeing this. We saw it at International USA, we saw there was a couple of lines. So it'll be interesting to see these cars move around. And we can see here Kevin getting a really good launch. And let's see the actual incident 4 wide here into turn 1. And let's see if Connor... Yeah, that's an interesting one there. We saw Connor up the top there, but he's actually on the B pillar. So it don't know if there's actually, I think that might just be a racing incident, but we do have the FIA in the background and being race control as usual, so they'll take care of that, and Reed and I will sit here and commentate as we normally do.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna let the stewards take a look at that one later a little bit. I think the coolest thing for me is that even after that incident, we've still got some racing going on as the Americans are racing against each other. Randall Turner, Kevin Garcia, they got each other going on. And man, we cannot keep these guys out of here. The VR racers are coming back. Randall Turner, where's his television? He doesn't have a triple monitor set up, Connor.
Yeah, Randall, we were talking about this a little bit off air. We were like, there's so many VR races now. Like, I know a good 3 of my mates that run VR. Back in the day, it was like, oh, you either run triples or an ultra wide. But now it looks like the VR is starting to improve with their technology further and further. I saw the Quest 2's got a little bit of an update. I saw there's a new version where it's like half the size of a Quest 2, but it's like lighter as well. So I think VR is starting to get to this point now where it's cheaper to run VR, and it actually might be better for the PCs. Meanwhile, Rago up the front here, doing really well. Following his teammate, which Blitzy, we saw him doing really well in a lot of our series actually. With the hypercars, we saw him doing really well as well. So you were talking about these guys being around AMX a lot recently. You're definitely not wrong, Reed.
Now, we're going to watch the incident that just happened on our screen. It's Turner and Giosso. They did not have a good time there. And specifically after spinning out there, Connor is not going to have a good time from earlier. Turner just gets kind of done in there by Giosso, but keeps himself racing. And this is the big moment. We actually didn't get a chance to see it, but he starts up and gets out there almost immediately. And he's still got a couple of second buffer between himself and Kevin Garcia behind him. So the Americans have separated each other, but this racing is going to be really big. It's Diego Villarreal and Kevin Garcia. Beautiful move there. Diego swooping back up.
Yeah, he did a really nice move there, Diego. Just up the inside, got it done nice and swiftly. And I actually saw his Instagram on the side of the car. He's perfect placement for our cameras. So, yeah, doing really well there with the placement. And it looks like we're on lap 8 so far. And, yeah, it looks like everyone's spread out a little bit, actually. Wouldn't mind a little safety car out there and bunch everyone back up. But I think these guys are going to keep it nice and clean, as we've seen. We've had a few little wrecks, but I think they've all spread out. But Connor Healy, by the way, he's in the pits, so I think that might be his race finish for now until race 2, which is a little bit unfortunate there. And Blitzy out front, leading the race, and it looks very comfortable at the moment with his teammate right behind him, 7/10 back.
Yeah, I do want to find out what happened to Diego and Connor. It might have been a black flag. I don't have confirmation of that. Just kind of guessing based on what it looked like. But, anything can happen. And right now, I think most of what's happening is Facundo Rago and Fabrizio Belziti, the two Voracious Racing drivers up there in P1 and 2. Let's look at Connor. He is chilling back there. And I believe he is either sim racing on his phone or just chilling, checking us out. Maybe he's actually watching the broadcast. So if you're watching us... Hey, Connor. How's it going? Okay, all right, back to the actual show. He's getting maybe a little bit of a pit stop going on, the world's longest pit stop. Either way, maybe he's just waiting for the race after this. It's sad to not see Connor on track. I mean, we do have prize money for the top 15 drivers. So maybe you're thinking to yourself, man, I could have just gotten an automatic 8th or 7th if you had come out and raced. You should be thinking that, because you can. Any day that we are racing, you can get out here with us. Yeah, so and that's what all of our racers did. They're still on track, and even if nothing happens, I mean, they're still going to place top 6 at least, which is in some pretty decent money. I think $1 to $7. It's not bad. And we have 3 different times. For qualifiers, heat 1 and heat 2. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's quite a bit when you think about it. If you get pole position, there's $7 straight up. Then if you get a second or a third, or even P1, there's quite a bit of money there. Like I think, how much was it to enter read it? It was like $1, if I'm right.
It is though.
So yeah, okay, so I'm bang on with that one. I thought I was a little bit off, but I did see it before, so I'm on the money. But see what I did there with on the money. But yeah, definitely. Even like I'm saying, Reed, like I think with the prize money this season, you just can't go wrong, can you? Like even if you finish, 15th, you're still getting money back. So AMX always being on top of the money and being on top of the league in general. Just coming on the back straight now, lap 12, my apologies. Couldn't see the number there, I'm half blind, so Polizzi out front doing nice and well.
That's right. That's also one of the names we have to work on, Bell Ziti. I only think of it, the only way I remember it, Connor, is because ziti is like that rice, right? That pasta dish, so... it is rice, right? I forget.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know there was a rice.
Yeah, baked ziti, man. No baking going on today. Although I will say he's not baking; he's cooking. Up in front with a almost second lead over Fabrizio or Facundo Rago, the guy that you see right here. Maybe he's getting a little bit of spotting going on, but I mean, it's a. I wouldn't say an oval. I mean, I guess technically it's an oval. It's a D-shaped track, although it does have that inner straight if you want to use that one. But yeah, we're running the D. 7/10 now back, and it looks like Facundo Rago might be closing a little bit. We're about the halfway point, so that might happen soon.
Bit of an update. Randall Turner just going low there, so something's happened there. Has he blown an engine, or the engine's getting too hot and he's going into the pits, which I don't think is required for a pit stop. So we're just seeing him pull in now. Let's see how long this pit stop is. So we might ride on board with him and just see what happens here. But yeah, that's weird for a pit stop, Reed. If I'm right about that, we shouldn't be doing pit stops, but I could be wrong.
No. I think you're correct. I don't believe pit stops are the way to go. I'm pretty sure we have fast repair on, so I'm not sure exactly how that works technically either. But for Randall Turner, I think he could just stay out there. It may be the case that he wants to do a pit stop in real life and just hop on out of there. He doesn't want to, park it on the track. So it's the responsible option. Connor Healy also, nice to check in with him a little bit. In the future, when iRacing 25 comes out, we're going to be able to see the driver in the car in virtual reality. But they haven't added that update to the game yet. So weather first, and then we'll be able to get in there in the future once Ready Player One comes to town. So now talking about the racers back on the track. Although I will say my screen is black currently, so I'm going to let you do that, Connor, while I see what's going on.
Too easy. I'll let your little problems figure it out. But looks like the teammates are actually pulling each other a bit closer together. So we saw 7 to 8 tenths, and now we're actually starting to get 6 to 5 tenths now, having that slipstream. Obviously, you get closer to the cars, and you get pulled in more, but you do get dirty air, which actually heats up the front tyres, and you start to get understeer. And if you don't know what understeer means, basically the car wants to push more wide. It doesn't want to go to the apex, which the apex is the middle of the corner normally, and you hit the apex. We'll probably see it here, and there's the apex right there. You can see it there, and now he's going to drive off the corner. So it's quite interesting to see NASCAR. It's very technical. A lot of people think it's driving left and nothing's really going on, but yeah, it's very technical, and the Americans definitely know how to make things technical. Obviously, we see with the NFL, they're very highly intelligent with that sport. We see them with their just seeing this. Let's see, just I think backed off the throttle. No, that was the camera. Our production team, as usual, being amazing, and we're just riding on board here with the rear bumper. I was like, hang on, is this something going on? No. Nah. Just the camera. But back straight now, and
I believe we're going to have a full screen replay coming through. Yeah, okay, nice job there, Connor. No, wow, I wonder what's coming up next, guys. No, so we're going to get a replay to check out what happened a little bit earlier. And this is a look back at the start, I believe. And I think what was happening, you're getting bumped around, banged around there in the front. I think it's just a reaction to that earlier contact. It might have been because you see kind of an inexplicable sharp right turn. So I'm guessing that was either netcode or something else happened there. We'll have the stewards look at that later on, of course. Nice to see a better look at exactly what happened. But then we also have this inside crash that I didn't actually see, and that actually was a little bit more impactful because it's a really hard spin. So this is not affecting Diego. You can see Diego Villarreal zooming off into the future. But that was the third Voracious Racing driver taken out earlier. And yeah, overcorrection there. That is a full-on spin for Diego.
Yeah, that was intense. It reminded me of I'm guessing you've seen the Cars movie Raid, where he gets taught to do a drift on the inside of an oval, and Randall Turner is trying to get his lap back on the leader at the moment. So we're going to see this little battle, and I think car number 7, which is So just letting him go there, and Randall Turner just driving off the corner. And we did see that pit stop, so I wonder if there is a little pit stop in this. So Randall Turner doing very well. There, Madigan driving off the corner in the 427. Doing very well on lap 21. 10 laps to go. Yep. And look at this VR. I've always been interested with VR where they can just move their heads around. Like, it's always a bit weird when you watch them. They just move their head, and you know in game they're settled in, they're doing their thing. But when you see it from the outside, you're just like, that's a bit weird. But Turner doing
the
very
biggest
well
thing for
here.
me, Connor, is that you while you're pointing your head forward, you want to look forward. So now you have the extra thing of having to hold your head in that position. So let's actually check out what it looks like. This is Randall Turner and Kevin Garcia going to right next to each other. Is it? No, it's not Kevin Garcia. Okay, it's lap traffic. Sorry. I didn't realize the back marker was going on, although I should have. The whole point for me is that watching Randall Turner race is really cool because it looks a lot more like what you'd see if you're in an actual race car, right? Because one of the coolest things about actual racing is that, or real racing in real life, is that you have the G-forces acting on your body, which also includes, and I think specifically, your neck in a lot of times. And when you have the VR helmet on, you have, I guess, a little bit more of an authentic feel for how you have to look differently as you race around the track, because it's not the screen being stationary. You actually have the entire field of view moving, which is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, definitely. And you talk about real life there and about G-force and stuff. Knowing a couple of my mates that have done real life stuff, a lot of formula driving, they definitely do say G-force, you don't really expect it until you get out on the racetrack and you actually feel G-force. And they say it's a whole different ball game, and they say it's a different experience. It's like it's like being on a rocket ship. Some of them said. So I've done a bit of go-karting myself, so I definitely know what it feels like. So yeah, just with that VR headset, it definitely would put a little bit more weight and a bit more realistic. And we're just running on board with the 2 front runners at the moment, and we can just see the teammates. I think they'd just be on Discord read, just chilling out, talking a bit of smack between each other, as most teammates do. And they're doing well. Lap 25, 6 more laps to go, and I think they're cruising to the finish at this point.
As you do. No, we are 25 laps through a 31-lap race, and that means that we don't have that much time. Honestly, it's so cool to me to see not only 3 Argentinian flags up in the front, but also Voracious Racing, 1, 2, 3. Really good to have those guys here and representing their team. They were posting about joining AMX on Instagram, Twitter. They're getting out there, and I think it's good that they did. Now, coming back at the end of the race, we are seeing the closest margin since the beginning, with less than 2/10 between Belziti and Facundo Rago. Now, they are teammates, but money's money, man. Finishing on that top step of the podium is absolutely what they're going for here. And Facundo Rago, you can see him in the first screen. His opponent's his teammate, Fabrizio Belziti, coming up alongside. This is a difference of $2. 7 or 5, who finishes on top, and this track is a little bit short, so there's not a lot of time to make that overtake happen, as we only have 3 laps remaining. 4 laps. Yeah.
Yeah, just having a little look there, we can see the car number 5. Just have a look there. Rago just being a little bit like, oh, maybe I'll go for the move. But yeah, like Fred said, they are teammates. But at the end of the day, money's money. And if that was my teammate, I think they'd been a different dimension by now. I would have just sent it up the inside and prayed the thing stop. So, but teammates doing well here. And yeah, like I said, I think they're cruising at this point. But you can see on their face, Fred, just how much concentration they're putting in. So. I think they're definitely having a little battle here. But like I said, I was talking before about the dirty air, understeer, slipstream, and apexes. That's actually a little bit of damage on that front left of Rago there. I think that was damage. It could have been just the front bumper, how it's been designed. But a little bit of slide from the Rago there. Just seeing there. But Reed, I think these teammates are definitely going to have a spicy little battle at the end.
Yeah, less than a tenth or just thereabouts right between them. They are absolutely nose to nose. The draft is in effect here, and so you might see him just close up and look for that move around the outside. 2 laps to go, which means we are not going to have to waste any time. Laps coming through, and for Facundo Rago, I think actually he set one of the faster laps earlier. I checked my live timing. He actually does have a tenth faster on the lap time over the race leader Fabrizio Belzini, which means in these next few laps he might be able to close that distance down on the inside. He's looking for it, pushes his teammate up against, or at least forces the defensive maneuver, and now coming on the inside, I think he might try to go for it. It's one final lap until we see the white flag wave, and that is going to be the go signal for Facundo Rago to try to make this overtake happen.
Yeah, Belzini, we saw him cover in turn 1, and have a look at this up the inside. He's going to have a look side by side. Oh, Belzini having a little bit of a slide. We can see there on the camera there. Belzini staying around the outside. He's going to get a good run, but the teammate going nice and low, trying to get that inside. He's going to have a lot more grip than Belzini. Let's see this go again. Turn 1 into turn 2. Running on the outside. Belzini having a great run out there. Belzini's got the run, and I think that's pretty much it, unless he can throw it up the inside. And Facundo Rago, I think he's pretty much got it. I think he might go for turn 3. No, it doesn't look like it for white flag. Belzini comes home and P1.
I mean, it is the white flag, not the checkered. So we do have a couple of seconds. Engine explosions. Veering off the track. Nope, nothing's going to happen. Nothing can stop Fabrizio Belzini from coming home in P1. Facundo Rago and Gayoso coming through on the top 3 steps of the podium. The only 3 steps. Gayoso still has to cross the finish line. A 20-second difference after that tragedy of a heat start. The great thing for a lot of our racers is that we have one more to go. P2 is coming up, and we will reverse the grid, which will put Connor Healy back in the race. He'll flip back up to the first position, and also flip the 3 Voracious Racing drivers down bottom. Well, let's take a final look at the standings from heat number 1. Fabrizio Belzini, Facundo Rago, and Lautaro Gayoso, the 3 Argentinian drivers from Voracious Racing, up in P1, 2, and 3. Diego Villarreal comes home in 4th after leading the race during the opening stretch. Kevin Garcia and Randall Turner, the 2 Americans, down there in 5th and 6th, will get flipped up towards the top. And then Connor Healy, who had a really unlucky start to the race, we'll see if he can build back from that in P1 after the reverse grid comes through. Because keep in mind, he is in P1 in the standings for the AMX 10 top 12. So you'd expect to see him have a pretty good rebound from this, but only time will tell.
Yeah, and let's go into Heat 2. And I think Reed's actually covered all of that. Connor Healy on the front stretch. I reckon if Connor Healy just keeps it clean, I think at this point Connor Healy's got a lot of pace, but it seems like he's always just getting caught up in little things. But Connor Healy is going to drive out, and yeah, let's see this go again. Race through the AMX, and I was going to say, if you guys want to join AMX.com, go and sign up, and you can hear Reed and myself talk absolute nonsense as usual, and yeah, come race. And it's can't actually lose anything in AMX, so that's how we want to keep it. Connor Healy on the front road, and let's see this go again.
Well, I don't know about not being able to lose anything. It is a race, so you can't lose. But for the most part, I mean, for example, there's 7 drivers out there right now, and that means that if you place in the top 15, you're going to get at least some prize money. So you guys do the math on that one. We're on board right now with Connor Healy, who is now regaining that first place position with Randall Turner, Kevin Garcia, the Americans, who are showing that they do have actual pace. But let's see if we can keep it pointed forward. That crash at the very beginning of Heat 1 was a little bit rough. You didn't get a chance to see really the true power levels of a lot of the guys on track. So let's get back out there and do it all over again. Coming around the final turn before we send the pace car on in and get this race on out of there. Let's see, it should be turning in here in just a second. Come on, pull over. There it is. I called it. And he's coming in, which means the race is about to go green. Got to keep your positions. No jumping the gun. The race is good to go. And here it is, Connor Healy dropping back to Diego Villarreal, who once again has an absolutely monstrous start. Gelson Belzini bringing up the rear as Punarago has also made a big move up past Kevin Garcia into P3. Huge start for Connor as he now comes around the inside to see if he can do anything to Diego, and more places to be gained. Gayoso going up next to his teammate Punarago, 3rd and 4th respectively. The real racing happening at the front there. Look at that. It's Rago Healy side by side. Now Garcia making a position up on Belzini in the back, and what a start to the race here, Connor.
Yeah, great start there for Diego there. Just didn't really wait around there. We saw Connor on the lead, but yeah, Diego just put the car right where he wanted, and Connor just had to be on the outside and take the little defeat there, and Diego out front now doing a nice job. But fast slap at the moment. Lap 1 is completed. On to lap 2, and Kevin, we're running on board Garcia. So let's see this happen with Garcia up the inside. Good move. Kevin's going to have to stay around the outside. The American trying to find as much grip as he can. He finds a little bit, and he's actually going to get a run, and he's going to get all the slipstream from the other teammate, but he doesn't. His teammate drops down from, and Connor right on the inside here. Trying to get my bearings when we just swapped to Connor and Diego, just having a good battle there. And Connor's going to take the lead with quite easy there from the looks of it. Diego might just save his tyres and play it smart. Oh my God, look at this, Reed. You can take this way. This should be a good little battle here with the 3 teammates.
Yeah, absolutely, Connor. P4 now, Gayoso, Rago, and right behind them, Fabrizio Belzini. A great 4-car grouping here, back of the top 2. Kevin Garcia now, the man racing in 5th. Let's see, because he is very, very close. He has Fabrizio Belzini very close to him behind. And when Belzini and Rago did so much racing against each other in heat number 1, you know that is going to be a difficult spot to be. Also leading the way there for Argentina in P3 is going to have to make it through the Uruguayan and Australian to get to that top spot. The battle between Kevin Garcia and Belzini intensifies. Belzini gets ahead for a brief nanosecond. Garcia takes it right back. Less than a 10th in between them, and now another pass as Kevin Garcia goes into P4. What on earth is this battle? Kevin trying to keep this place, but Facundo Rago keeping it very, very aggressive, slipping back in right behind him, and then dropping back. A big move puts Garcia solidly in 4th.
Yeah, Garcia just having a really good run there. We saw the teammates of Velocity. I think I butchered that one, but
it's voracious.
Voracious. I couldn't actually see what their name was. I was like, it's something V, but doing really well there with that three little team there, and you can see the teamwork there. But Garcia just doing his thing, and yeah, he's put the car in the right spot, and they're actually at a tow. So Cornando Rago is going to have to try and get back into the slipstream there with his teammate Belizzi. And let's see all this happen again with Garcia. He's going to try and get a run on this back straight. I don't think he's going to have it. He's a little bit too far back to make a move. And but they might just try and get up to P1 and P2 at the moment. And you can see on your screen there with all the times there on the top left. And that's more, the red is more how close. Oh, Garcia just having a knock in the wall. And you can see the face expression there just going, oh, I didn't want to hit that.
Yeah, I mean, that makes it look like a real race when you have the impact. You're like, oh, that is not it. So Kevin takes a little bit of a smashing, but keeps on racing. Randall Turner, the other American, having a little bit of a dust up earlier, puts him back in seventh. So Garcia continuing to make that fourth place his, even with Fabrizio Belziti, an absolute racer behind him, coming up about a second back. So racing's toned down a little bit, but in the front, but in the back, we've got Belziti and Rago still absolutely going at it toe to toe as we near the first third of our race being over with. Keep in mind, Belziti was placed all the way at the back of the grid, so he is still having a pretty good race, climbing up a couple of spots. So let's see if that continues. On board now with Diego Villarreal, who is coming up on Connor Healy in the lead.
Yeah, he's definitely saying there. I did say before that maybe he's just sitting there and saving a little bit of time, maybe not really pushing the car and just waiting for those last couple of laps just to pounce on Connor. So that would probably be the smartest point the smartest play at this point in the time in the race. Just thinking, like, if he was gonna make a move now, he's gonna scrub those right-hand tires and just have no grip for the rest of the race. But if you just wait, maybe there's a move and an opportunity to go just put the car there, and you can see there just 3/10 and still gaining. So Diego doing really well here, and I reckon he's controlling the race very well here, because it's more up to Diego here, not Connor, because Connor can't really pull away at this point. He's got really nothing he can do. So Connor just needs to keep his tyres as well, but you can see the back of the pack there catching up. So yeah, it's a bit of a mind game here. It's not very all driver. It's a bit of a mind game, I've noticed, from NASCAR. So we're gonna ride on board with the rear bumpy here, and you can just see here with the car and the line, and Healy doing really well here.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the Connor Healy we expected, right? I talked about this after his result in heat number 1, finished last and had an impact during the first lap. So really rough first race, but this is why he is currently number 1 in the AMX 1 top 12 standings. He's way on top. Reasons like this. Great to see him in front. Dominant drive as always, but can't phone it in just yet. We've got Belziti making a big move. Finally hits Kevin Garcia back and gets up into P4. Garcia seemingly having a little bit of an issue here as he continues to drop back. Kundo Rago having an effortless overtake after Kevin pushed it really, really hard and had a great race. Finds himself back in P6.
Yeah, he's back in P6 with the two teammates getting around him. So that's going to be... Oh, there's actually been a movement of the change in the race. So Healy on the top here, Diego just on the bottom here. So let's see what happens here. Connor Healy on the outside. Turn 1, let's see it happen. Connor on the outside, he's going to get a little bit more grip and a bit of more of a run. Diego down the bottom, just trying to keep it there, and moves up and covers Connor. So Connor can't get a run. Now does he go up the inside? Does he stay up there? He looks like he's going to stay there and not really move around. So lap 12 we're on. Still a long way to go for Connor Healy and Diego there. So this might spice up if these guys at the back in the background will catch up, and I reckon they have. Garcia there just catching up there. So this is going to heat up, Reed.
Yeah, absolutely. Also getting a little bit closer. There were some big gaps in between here, but as we near the halfway point, they seem to be closing. And keep in mind, this is Connor Healy. After leading the race for so long, Diego just making the biggest move we've seen all race long, takes him out, takes him over, and gets into that first place spot. Connor might have some other ideas, though. He's absolutely keeping it close, still in the running. We got half a race left to race, Connor, so we are really seeing a lot of action here. Facundo Rago actually might be able to, about to overtake Belziti in front of him also. So we got action first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Everything's kicking off here halfway through our second heat of the night.
Yeah, it's all heating up. Healy, I would say he's in a really good position at this point in time. He can sit back. He's in that slipstream. He's not really doing much at the moment, and I think he's actually a bit more relaxed because being out front, you don't know what's really happening. You're just driving along. Now he's in P2. He can either push really hard or just sit there, like I said. So you can see there, nice and calm as Connor Healy always. He's never stress-free. Like we've never seen a stress to Connor Healy yet. So I'd like to see that this race. And Diego just sitting out front. We've seen this guy a lot. Out in front. We've seen him in the last couple of NASCAR races. So maybe this is the time to shine. We've seen a lot of potential. And I reckon this might be the race, Reed.
The race is here. It's right here. Guy also moving faster in this battle between him and Connor, showing that that gap is closing. Healy might have a lot to think about here. He's thinking, okay, I need to retake that first place from Villarreal, but now his back mirror is starting to fill up a little bit. Guy also on the move. A 10th upgrade throughout a D-track like this. Very, very meaningful. And now, Connor, I think he might be feeling the pressure. He's deciding to make a move of his own and closing the distance on Diego Villarreal there through the straight. Coming around the corner, getting a great exit, and now thinking to himself, okay, well, things are completely tightened up there. Actually, I think Facundo Rago is about to make a move of his own to overtaking his teammate in P5 and 4.
Yeah, Facundo Rago just having a look there. We can see he's only a 10th back, but at the end of the day, they are teammates. So maybe he's just giving him a nice push here. Yeah, so though, sitting on the back of Connor Healy, this is the time for making a move. Oh, did he go on the outside? We've seen that outside being very strong at the moment. Yeah, so on the outside in car number 7, just getting a nice run. Connor Healy dragging up a little bit. So so just got to get it. A little bit of dirty air, but so still comes on top, up the inside. He's going to have the run for turn 3. And look at that. So just, it almost looks easy with that slipstream, but he set it up perfectly and so just getting that nice run. Connor Healy dropping back. So he's went from P1 to P3. So I'd say there's a little bit of, so it's just dropped out of the server. That's not good for
No. I think it might just be a live timing thing happening. Yeah, popping back in, just moving a little bit too fast for his own good there. He's faster than our timing tower can keep up with. He is still in P2, which does represent kind of a move I never thought I'd see happen. Connor Healy back now in 3rd. Realistically, we're closing in on the final 3rd of the race, Connor, and that means that time is running out. He also has Fabrizio Belziti about to get overtaken by Facundo Rago behind. That might even catch up, who knows? So action really everywhere you look.
Yeah, I'm really stuck on this battle for P3 at the moment. Facundo Rago just making a move on his teammate there on Belziti. And this is definitely heating up. We can see so going low, but we can see with Connor Healy and here as well, you can hear the engine just dropping off there, getting a lot of understeer. So though, he looks really comfortable in that car. He's not really, nothing huge movements. He's just sitting there and just driving okay. So sitting on the back now, Diego. And this could be the move for P1. So on the outside, having a good run. Connor Healy coming into this battle now too. Connor Healy's nice and low, so this could be a move for him as well. So on the outside, he's going to have the good run out of turn 2. Connor Healy still going up the inside. So on the outside, still running there. And he's going to get this done. It looks like he's almost finished the move. Diego moving up so he doesn't get overtaken. But Connor Healy's contact in the background for P2 and P2 and 3 there. Yeah, so getting the move done though, and I reckon he's pretty proud of that move because that was a very clean move there.
Yeah, it really was. And now he's going to go slip back in again. That time much cleaner from Diego Villarreal. I don't know if he's got the spotter telling him, coming up on your right, because Healy got squeezed hard there in the back. And now actually Healy might look for a little bit of revenge. He is popping out of pocket to come around Diego Villarreal on the inside. It's as rubberized as it's going to get, and he might have gotten a little bit of grip. Decides he can't make it happen just yet. 10 laps to go, and Healy pulls back in behind Diego Villarreal, occupying P2 behind Gayoso, finds himself in first.
Yeah, so we've seen him make some really good moves, but now he's going to try and have to keep off these two, which these two are very good competitors. We've already mentioned they've been up the front the whole time in this race, and in the championship, they haven't really been moving around a lot in the championship. Connor Healy up the inside, huge move. He's going to get the slipstream straight off Gayo, so that's going to be quite beneficial to Connor Healy there, getting the slipstream, and that's a move well done. Viral though, up the inside. No, he backs out of it actually. So Diego just backing out of there, and Healy goes wide. He's going to try and get the run on Gayoso, and have a look at this. In the background, we've talked about Belizzi. Oh, I keep fucking it up. Belziti.
There we go.
Every time. I think I talked too fast and I bugger it up. Oh, Healy though, having a look there. It looks like Healy. I was talking about the tire, and if you go too hard, you're gonna warm that tire up and not really get it back. It's such a hard car to tell with the tires. But Healy though, like we saw him understeering a lot. But now he looks like the tyres have come back to him. So Healy, though, on the outside having a heap of grip there. And so they're being in trouble there. He's covering off in the middle of the corner there and the inside there. And like Reed said, the laps are going up, and they're running out of time for this race. And Healy on the outside trying to find some grip, and Reed, this is it's getting quite interesting, this race.
Yes, I agree. 7 laps to go, and it's all the race for. Connor Healy, I thought that was the move. Coming way down to the inside is Gayoso, and he's leading Healy right behind him. If Healy can maintain that line, then he might be able to slip under, but obviously that's not the fastest path forward. He keeps himself well and truly behind Gayoso. Villarreal doing essentially the same thing. They are neck and neck. Well, not really. They're not side by side, but they're coming up on it. And they know the time is running out, and I think that might be, Connor Healy's opportunity. Oh my God, so close.
This is going to be a change for P2. Diego, he's made a Healy making that mistake. Diego's just going to take the move. Healy right on the back bumper. Up the inside, and here comes the the teammates on the back there. We can see them just lurking, and Gayoso would be quite happy that they're just back there lurking. So Healy, in the back of his mind, he knows that he's in trouble. He's in the middle of this. He's not comfortable from behind, and he wants to get in front. So Healy having a look up the inside with that Supra. What a great looking car that is. We've seen that year model of 2019 and a little bit later on of the Supra. And car's looking very nice in the Xfinity. And Healy having a look. Oh, you can see there, Kundo Rago just having a look up the inside. Not really having a massive look, but we can just see him having a nice look, seeing where Healy's making the mistakes. But it looks like Healy's just doing the right things at the moment. And we've got the blimp cam up in the bottom right. And Healy having a look. He's slowly just having more looks, and until Diego cracks, that will be the moment, Reed, where he goes up the inside.
It could happen at any moment. Closer than he's ever been all race long. That's a lie. They've been pretty close. But for the most part, this is as close as it gets. Rago, less than a tenth. Healy coming up on it. And Gayoso defending for his life. Let's see if this is our final order as we come around one of our final 4 laps left. It looks like it's Rago, Belzini, both trying to make moves. Coming around Connor Healy, who's really caught in this sandwich he does not want to be the meat of. Coming on the inside, it looks like that might be Rago. Yes, he does, just barely get his nose ahead of Connor, who retakes it, keeping that line good, getting a little too close to comfort for that wall. Whoa, right in between. Connor buttering up the front back, sliding on through into P2.
Yeah, what a great move that was. Connor on the outside trying to get a good run onto this back straight because he knows he's going to get overtaken if he's not getting that good run on that exit. We've seen that multiple times. And Gayoso just having a huge gap now, 8/10. That's probably the biggest bit of, fresh air he's had all race. Running on board with Belzini here, just doing a good job here, trying to have a look. And I think this might be the corner that he's going to get it. And it is! Belzini just doing a great move there up the inside, taking no prisoners, and he's just went flying past Diego. Meanwhile, Connor Healy's on the outside, and he's going to get overtaken. Oh, he just say around the outside, he's got still enough grip. But Connor Healy, he needs to go up that inside because it looks like he's just running out of grip at this point. But he's got the run, though. That's all that matters at this point. Connor Healy, does he go up the inside? No, he's going to look on the outside at this point in time.
Yeah, it's right around the outside. He comes through, and we are on our penultimate lap. One more to go after the completion. The one you see on your screen right now. Healy, very, very close. A tenth and a bit. Up next to Facundo Rago. He is closing, and looking for that moment. It's not at the end of the straight, but it might be coming out of this very, very heavily banked corner. Don't want to tap him too much, but anything you got to do, draft him behind and seeing if he can find an angle inside, not working out. Comes around the outside. That line identical to Facundo Rago as the white flag flies. That's Gayoso crossing the finish line, the first driver into our final lap. Rago is where the action's at. He both has to fight off Healy behind, who is in turn fighting off Fabrizio Belzini, who wants this win just as badly. The opponent can between the racers closest together on track right now. Connor Healy and Fabrizio Belzini. Let's see if Connor can make this happen. He was in P1 for a long time. We talked him up, talked about how he's on. He's in P1 in the standings, the AMX 1 top 12, and he might be taking a little bit of a dip down here. It's the checkered flag flying. Gayoso, Rago, and Connor Healy coming home in P1, 2, and 3.
What a great race that was, Reed. It was a spicy ride at the end, and here comes the Americans coming home. And that was such a sensational race there. We've seen the top 5 there getting nice and close. He's trying to do a burnout, but he's just smacked the wall. But yeah, Gayoso just doing really well there, controlling the race. He almost did a Carlos Sainz smooth operator kind of move there. So taking an awesome move home, and AMX 1 doing justice.
Yeah, nice little spin on the Supra to celebrate. Absolutely incredible final heat there. And I want to say a big shout out to Gayoso, who came through, and I believe this is his first race in AMX Global League Season 4. Lautaro Gayoso, P1. Facundo Rago interrupting what would have been the second top 3 for Argentina in the championship today. Connor Healy in between himself and Fabrizio Belzini. Diego Villarreal comes home P5. Kevin Garcia and Randall Turner in the back. The two Americans finishing in P6 and 7. Hope to see them back again because I like seeing my countrymen joining us in AMX just as much as the next guy. And new faces always take some time to adjust there. But for Lautaro, Gayoso, huge shout out, P1 finish. Very impressive to see. Yes. That was your cue, Connor. That's the end of our AMX 1 proceedings. What'd you think of the NASCAR race today, Connor?
Oh, that's probably the best so far. We saw international last week, but yeah, by far that was probably the best. It's good to see we've got the Xfinities out of the garage and having some good racing. Like we've seen I don't think we've seen next gens yet, so maybe that might come up in the future. So, but yeah, Xfinity's been, they're never bad. I mean, the racing's awesome. The tires fly off the car, and yeah, everyone needs to deal with just a boat at one point. So yeah, it's good. It's good racing. It never disappoints.
Never disappoints. Really, drivers, cars, tracks, whatever it is, perfect combinations for some absolutely excellent racing today. We've got it all. We had crashes in Heat 1. We had really close racing all the way through 31 laps of Heat number 2. And one of the reasons this season of AMX Global League is better than ever. If you guys want to get in on the action, make sure to stay tuned to everything coming from AMX Global League Season 4 on Twitter and Instagram. You can see the links to them right down below your screen. You can click on them right down bottom there too. And we want to say a big thanks to everybody who watched us today on on Twitch and YouTube. Too many things to talk about. If you drop us a subscription, a follow, a thumbs up, whatever you want to give us, we really do appreciate your support on there. If you want to get in on the conversation, head on over to the AMX Global Discord. There's also a link to that right down below there, and we'd love to have you as part of our community. You can talk to any of the drivers who've been part of AMX Global League so far, and even join if you'd like to by heading over to amxrace.com. That's where all the signups happen. There's deals, there's announcements, there's everything in between on amxrace.com. We'd love to have you as part of the AMX Global League here in Season 4. Well, Connor, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck in your races later on tonight. And whether it's Connor, you guys watching, everyone behind the screen, we're all happy to be a part of everything here. But while we take a break before our next races, we're going to let you do that too and come back and hit you with AMX 10 coming up next.
To save our home, we must travel through the gateway to find new energy.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to AMX Global League Season 4. This is our 6th day of racing competition. It's AMX 10's RWD, the Rear-Wheel Drive Championship. We are racing Formula Fords on the Red Bull Ring. It's going to be a great day tonight. As you can see, the weather is wonderful. There is the Red Bull of the Red Bull Ring. Now, we're doing things a little bit differently tonight. I'd like to welcome Facundo Rago to the stream. You guys might have seen him racing in AMX, and now he's here to talk about some of the racers. Facundo, if people are not familiar with you, why don't you introduce yourself to everyone watching?
Hello, Ray. Hello, everyone in the stream. I just raced with my guys in NASCAR. I'm sweating all over the place, so excuse me for that. But it was an amazing race. Well, I'm 25. I'm from Argentina, and I'm still racing. I'm a sim racer for Voracious Racing Team from Argentina. So yeah, I'm excited for today's race. Very fun.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Facundo. About how long have you been sim racing?
Almost 12 years now.
Oh my god!
You know why?
Wow, that's almost as old as I am. It's great to have you here, and congratulations on Voracious's performance in the first race of today in AMX1. You guys had a really exciting race, and you did pretty well also. So. You're on Voracious, but have you always been with them, or how long have you been on your team?
No, actually, it's a pretty new team. Voracious was born like 12 months ago, 13 months ago. So yeah, we're a pretty young team. We're a couple of friends, and yeah, we're getting people over, just having new friends, new drivers into the team. So yeah, we are all from Argentina. We are all friends, and it's a pretty good environment to be in.
What is the sim racing community like in Argentina?
It's growing. It's growing up. I mean, it's a pretty tiny community, to be honest. But yeah, it's growing great. F1 games, Gran Turismo, Forza, most mainstream games are doing well. iRacing is like improving every year. It's great to see it. But yeah, we're a pretty small community, but I'm sure we'll be growing up every day.
Well, it's great to have you here, Facundo. We're going to be starting
you.
off with our AMX 10 race, and you can see everything on your screen right now. We just talked about that, but if this info, but if you're new to AMX Global League Season 4, we are a $20,000 championship, so there's a lot of money on the line. We run for 3 months between January 27th to April 21st, and we do have 68 races this season, and we're about 10 or 11 races through that. When it comes to AMX 10 and AMX 1, the format is a 20-minute qualifier, 20-minute heat number 1, and then a 20-minute heat number 2 with a top 15 reverse grid twice in between our qualifier in heat 1 and then heat 1 and heat 2. When you sign up to race at amxrace.com, we do require that you turn on your webcam. You can join on via some video link, whether it's your phone, camera, webcam, whatever. We want to see you when you race because it's more exciting that way. When you race with us on Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday and win over $100, we'll pay you out once a month when you get over that threshold in $100 increments. And I mentioned that we race Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is the AMX 10 race, and so it's starting at about qualifiers start at about 7:20 p.m. GMT. So you can translate your time from there to there, whatever you need to do. AMX 10 starts at 7:20 on Tuesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and the AMX 1 race that just concluded starts a little bit earlier, about an hour and a half earlier at 5:50 p.m. on Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday. We are playing for $500 every time we go racing in AMX 10. This season, we're giving first place $30, $20 to second place, $18 to third, all the way down to 15th. There's also $4 on the line in each of Heat 1 and Heat 2 for that fastest lap. So all said and done, if you win the AMX 10 Triple Crown, first place in everything, and the fastest laps, you're almost at $100 per race win. Now, here's a look at the leaderboards for the AMX 10 Top 12. We've got Gael Valero in first, Aaron Vasquez in second, Dino Filippa in third, all the way down there to Nico Wierzbicki, who joins us in P12. And there are a ton of good names on there, even Facundo's teammate, Fabrizio Belziti, there in P11. So some great racers on there, and hopefully we see a lot more good racing as we get into our first race of the night. If you'd like to get into this race with us, you can do that for a little bit of a discount. If you sign up ahead of time, 3 days or more before the actual race, then you get 30% off. And if you want an even bigger discount, you can buy one of the 6 season tickets that are available for each one of classes races that we have, like the RWD, FWD, NASCAR, some lighter cars. We've got a bunch of different options there. So head over to amxrace.com to get your tickets today. All right, that's going to do it. So we're going to go ahead and start talking about what and where we're racing today. Starting off with a look at the iconic track. You saw it earlier. It's the Red Bull Ring. It's technically in Styria, but they might as well call the town Red Bull. That's most of what happens there. It is a country or a city in Austria. Started in 1969. It's been through some ownership changes, but it's a decently long track at just over 4 kilometers. And Facundo, you've raced here before. What do you think about racing at the Red Bull Ring?
Yeah, it's a really fun track, definitely. It has a lot of overtaking points, overtaking places. You can go around the outside or keep it in the inside. It's a pretty good track, and it's really fun. So we should be seeing a great race today.
Yeah, I hope so. And we have some really fun cars to go racing with today. It's a one make, one model. It's Formula Fords. Now, they're all made by the Ray Racing team, and they made a lot of FFs out there. But the FF 1600s here in iRacing, 115 horsepower, manual gearbox, rear-wheel drive, and just under half a kilo. So, no, not half a kilogram. Anyway, his 500 kilograms. That's what I was trying to say. Half a ton. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. For us today, these are kind of light, fast cars. It's a great introduction to open wheel racing. And Facundo, you raced these last season, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. Like you said, it's a pretty light car, but drivers cannot trust this car at all. You can always spin out in all of a sudden. So yeah, it's gonna be really fun to see how the drivers manage this car.
I can see you're getting in the groove of commentating already. So great to have you here with us. And we're going to jump into qualifying already. So coming down some of the pretty severe elevation changes into another lap of qualifying. There's 20 minutes of qualifiers, and we are coming up on the halfway point of AMX 10 Race 6. As you can see popping up on your screen right there. It's group qualifying, so things can get a little bit congested, but we have a lot of racers with us today. I think we are sitting at 50, 60, 70, almost 20 racers for this race, and we do have several other Argentinian racers like Gaston Calabi, Juan Belenat, and Pablo Mercerat, along with, there's actually, I think, six Argentinian racers. So you said the community was kind of small, Facundo, but there's so many of them racing in AMX.
Yeah, but like I said, it's kind of small, but we all are great drivers and get along great. So let's hope my fellow Argentinian mates are doing great today.
Yeah, okay, so I'm a little bit biased. We do have an American driver racing with us. It's Tim State, who has yet to set a time through our qualifiers. He'll be racing too. We also have several Canadian drivers, which is kind of interesting, or at least it's players who have purchased their iRacing through a Canadian account, and that makes it Leo Mora and Samuel Burnett, both guys that are joining at the beginning of AMX Season 4. So I'll see who is setting some fast times out there. It looks like currently we have 3 Argentinians in the top 4, Soriano, Aguilar, and Pascucci up there in P1, 2, and 4, with Aaron Vasquez in P3. Although anything can change, as we still have just about 10 minutes left. Kyle Valero going fastest, and for Facundo, you've had the opportunity to race against most of these guys. What do you think of the level of competition in AMX 10?
I think it's out of the roof. I mean, it's pretty tough to race these guys. They are so fast. It's almost impossible to match their pace, sorry. Guys like Vasquez, Valero, Resende, Harrison, they're super fast, and it's great to race with them because you learn so much, and you always want to race against the best, and they are. So race against these guys and the Argentinians as well. Like you see Soriano, Aguiar, Filipa is not right here now, but he's one of the best as well. So like I said, the level here is amazing, and it's pretty fun to race with these guys.
Yeah, a lot of racers who have been out here several times are on board right now with Roman Pascucci. Not the most Argentinian name I've ever said before, but he's here representing. And now checking out Jackson Ascende. Now, Jackson has what I would like to call an aggressive racing style. He is a very, very skilled driver who has won many times. But you know, it's a little bit rough sometimes to be around him, and in Formula Fords, they can be a little bit fragile. So let's check out what's happening right now as we near the final 5 minutes. This is when drivers are going to be setting some of their really fast laps now that they've warmed up the car, familiarized themselves with the track. It's a long lap, about 1:40 around there. And the only time less than 1:40 is Roman Pascucci, who puts up a 1:39 in P1. Soriano, Harrison, Aguilar right next to him. So these are some very, very fast times already coming through, and I'm excited to see what happens. How difficult would you say Red Bull Ring is to race in Formula Fords?
Not only to race, to qualify, it's really tough right here. Like you see, all the drivers are looking for a train, for a towing train, for you don't want to be alone here. You always want some tows to be, I don't know, 4 or 5 tenths faster. But like you say, see here Soriano, it's doing by himself. I don't think he will improve this lap. But yeah, look, all the drivers behind him trying to get into his tow.
Yeah, that's a great point. Really important to have the best aerodynamics when you go around the track. It's a very long track, so any little boost you can get from being in the tow of a driver in front of you is really, really helpful. So that's kind of what you see here on screen. Every one of these drivers trying to get behind each other so that there's not as much in front of them. This is a look at Gael Valero representing Apex Racing Team, one of the best teams in sim racing. And while he's 28 years old, he's still absolutely at the top of his game. He does have that black bar pro license out there. He's our only pro driver today, at least as far as his achievements in iRacing official tournaments. He's a 9K I rating, so very, very skilled and absolutely one of the best racers on the track. I wanted to ask you, Facundo, when you talk about racing against some of these really, really skilled drivers, what are some of the things that you learn from racing against really good drivers?
Well, first of all, we do learn how to fight with them. Sometimes there are a lot of aggressive drivers you want to avoid, or you can go around the outside with them. But yeah, maybe seeing them just put lap after lap after lap, see their racing lines, see how they develop around the race. You can learn of anything about them. So it's great to race with them because you just get to see how they I don't know, how they put together a standing start or something like that. Little details are always about the most important things.
Yeah, little details. It's really kind of hard for me as a commentator to talk about everything because it's really the little tiny decisions. Like right now, we're coming up towards the end of qualifying. It's almost a 2-minute lap, and there's like 2.5 minutes left. So this is the final opportunity for a lot of our racers to get in a really good lap. Maybe you can head back to the pits, but it's going to come down to the wire. Kieran Harrison goes fastest right at the end of qualifying to put in a 1:39.889. Very, very fast time from Kieran. And he finds himself in provisional pole. On board now with Aguilar. You can see him down there in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. He is coming through in P3 and is on a really, really fast qualifier. At least it seems that way. And currently, it seems like the best time, the fastest time is being set by Kieran Harrison. But actually, if I check, Aaron Vasquez also setting a time that's very, very close there, along with Gaston Prestacolavi. So anything could happen. So many of our racers are going to get their times in before the end of qualifiers. So everybody gets another chance to say their final words here. So on board with Santiago Aguilar as he comes through, currently in P3, one of the only racers in the sub 140 times. A great opportunity for him to get a good placement. There's a lot of money on the line. $30 for first place, 20, then 18 on down for our racers in AMX 10. So really does make a difference where you qualify. And let's take a look at Leo Mora now, joining for one of the first times this season. Great to have him out here. Of course, a multi-discipline racer who was pretty much fluent at so many races. Good to see him here in P18. So he does need to get to P15 to qualify for that reverse grid, which is important, but I don't think he'll have the opportunity to come across and set a better time. Yeah, it does not improve on that lap. It stays down there in P18. And we do have only 30 seconds left, and it's going to be an important 30 seconds because we have a lot of racers now making their final approach on the start-finish line. You can see them dropping out to the pits as they finish their laps, and I want to see if anything comes down to the wire. There's so many races here specifically where racers have set that time that gets them a little bit higher right at the end of qualifiers, but with 8 seconds through, I don't think any of these guys are going to come across the line. We're going to turn off the timing tower and finish up our qualifiers with the BenQ session winner, who is, dun dun dun, this is the suspenseful part, it's Kieran Harrison. Okay, no surprise there. Kieran Harrison, Roman Pascucci, and Santiago Aguilar comes through in the top 3. Tobias Soriano and Calavi right below. I said there's 6 Argentinian racers here, Facundo, and it looks like they're all in the top 10, with 4 of them in the top 5. So you guys are representing tonight.
Yeah, these guys are. And let me tell you, they worked together and they did amazing. So let's hope they're great in the race as well.
Yeah, working together, kind of interesting to see teamwork also happening in the race. Also, do want to point out some kind of some surprises. We did have Pedro Dean, who's very, very good, but down there in 14th. Fabio Zamperlini, who's won many races in AMX before, P11, and then even Gael Valero and Aaron Vasquez out of the top 5. So when they get reverse gridded, they'll be up a little bit higher, but still plenty of room to improve. So let's head back out to Spielberg for our first lap of heat number 1. I believe this is going to be a standing start in the Ray race cars as Formula Ford get ready to go. Lights are ticking down. Cars are heading out onto the grid. And once we get things gridded up here, it's going to be time to start. Now, okay, I was going to ask you a question, Facundo, but we're going to start in like half a second. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Actually, we need to find all the race cars first. You guys can get out onto the grid, please.
Yeah.
It's time to start the race. Okay, it's gonna take some time to get out there.
Wait.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to start the race, guys. All right. I think we're all out. Okay, we're missing 1 car. Come on, click the button. It's almost time. Any second now. Can we start without all the cars? I don't think so. Okay.
Green flag, green
All
flag.
right. Green flag, it's time! We're going to go racing with about 20 drivers. It's Simon Demori in front, Pedro Dean, Lozano, and as long as we get around to turn number 1, we're going to have a good race. So let's see if we can box everybody up. Coming around 3 wide will not be it. Can they make the first corner? It looks like almost everybody does. We do have 1 car that didn't start. It looks like it's Mercerat in the back. But everybody else is doing pretty well. Simon Demori in front, but with Pedro Dean right on his heel. In the back, we've got Gael Valero climbing up along with Aaron Vasquez. Souza falling back, so that's not a great time. Oh, horizontal driving. It's going to send Soriano off the pit. No, it's Zamperlini. Way back in the back. Mora down there with him also. So already got our first crash out of the way, but for most of our racers, they're having a great time. Really competitive battle between Pedro Dean and Simon Demori up in the front. Calavi and Harrison going racing against each other as Harrison makes a big move to climb 6-7 places. Planat falling back though. He's going to be out after spinning and, oh man, dropping like flies. But actually a pretty safe start to the race. Is there anything you noticed from that race start, Facundo?
Yeah, 2 things. I think Pedro Dean is actually doing pretty good. He will be ahead of most of the race, I guess. Oh, that's Sam. And sadly, Fabio, I think he made a mistake, so I hope he can do better the next race. Also, let's say I see Jackson not making any spots out of the race start, and that's kind of weird because he makes awesome starts all the time.
Yeah, he's really, really assertive at the beginning of the race. Pedro Dean's hitting the fastest lap through two, and Simon Demori maintaining that lead. Oh, some lockups coming around the corner. That is very, very scary. But for the most part, all of our racers still very, very close, even through the start. Now, there have been some really big climbs being made here. Aaron Vasquez just now climbing up into fourth. He is absolutely racing his heart out right now. Coming through, climbing. He's going to make another place up around the first curve into P3. Pedro Dean falls down one as Vasquez climbs. Aguilar, Harrison, both racing right now, and still side by side. It's like 2 or 3 wide. So many people trying to make these places up, and it looks like Dean falling back. It's Aguilar over Harrison now battling towards the back. A big curve, and it's going to be all of our racers still going forward. It's Harrison making up that place, retaking that position from Aguilar. Harrison Aguilar going side by side. Gael Valero retakes his second place from Aaron Vasquez, who's right beside him fighting for it. And oh my God, this is so exciting to watch. It's Lozano down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen through the chicane. And oh man, Aaron Vasquez really wants this P2 place. So much racing happening here. Okuda, I agree with you. These guys are pretty good.
They are. They absolutely are. And yeah, I want to see how this battle between Valero and Vasquez goes out, because they're both pretty good, but they don't want to lose never. So I know the both of them are pretty good. Let's see now, Gael.
On board now with Aaron Vasquez, side by side. Gael Valero, he is right next to him, but you can't stay that way forever. It looks like Gael just barely has the nose in, and he's still about to overtake Simon Demori, too. We're going like 4 wide into this curve, 3 wide now. Gael Valero still in front by just a little bit. Vasquez coming through over Simon Demori. Now Mori retaking. This is so close. Absolutely the pinnacle of racing here at the very front of the field. And it's not even just going to stop here. We've got Karen Harrison overtaking Pedro Dean. And yeah, oh, so close. Yeah, this is... Oh, you absolutely cannot stay that wide coming into the curve. Pinching a little bit, but everyone's still on track. What a beautiful way to race.
What a race.
So exciting. Hasenje up into first place out of nowhere. Oh, making up like 4 or 5 spots.
P1.
That's crazy.
P1 Jackson.
Jackson's
I didn't
P1
even notice
right
exactly
now. What he did. Did you notice him climb all those places?
No. Absolutely.
Yeah,
look
so
at
really
Kieran
surprising.
Right now is joining the race. Kieran is joining the party right now.
He really is. There he is. Plus 11 drive already. I think the first 10 drivers could win the race. They're so close. Actually, all the way down from P1. Oh, big
Kieran.
spin out.
It's
It's Harrison. No. He's
Simon.
still pointing forward. But yeah, I think it's Sousa might have had the most issues there. Oh my God. Yeah, tragedy at the back of the race.
I think it's Simon.
Harrison.
Simon Demori.
Yeah. Simon Demori.
Bad luck.
Yeah, and that takes Harrison out of the race also. So they're going to be way back down there. The racing at the front is still just as competitive as ever. Hasenje took for P1, but Gael Valero is retaking that. Now it's Aaron Vasquez passing Hasenje. Pascucci wants in on that top 3, and he's going to take it. No! Oh my God! The carnage! It's Gael Valero! Flipped upside down in the back.
Valero and Pascucci.
I think Pascucci. Yeah, so Pascucci's out.
Yeah.
Valero back down there now behind Karen Harrison. And man, you can't race this hard for this long without expecting some accidents. Lozano racing Hasenje behind Aaron Vasquez, who has about a minute lead. A second.
Look at Lozano. He's P3 now.
I mean, I said anything could happen up here. Now the Mexican driver in P3, right in front of Aguilar, Calavi, and Soriano coming through right behind him. Still an incredibly close train of cars from first all the way down to 10th. Karen Harrison back by a couple seconds with the back markers, but still a very competitive top 9. Let's check out this incident It's open-wheeled cars, so it's easy to get in there and hook them. Looks like just pressuring a little bit too hard from behind.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So sad that happened. So I think Harrison was on fire today.
Yeah, really, really fast. He had a plus 11, 12 drive there. Tim State now passing Gael Valero, who has dropped out of the race, unfortunately. It's going to elevate them a place up. Aaron Vasquez, after racing so hard, has got over a second lead here over Jackson Asenge, who's now in P2, but maybe not for long. Lozano coming around side, takes P2 away from Jackson. They're still absolutely side by side in through the curve. Asenge takes it back. Now the real racing happens as Kalavi joins the fray, coming into the picture from behind. It's Kalavi, there's Hezenje, and then Lozano, still racing side by side. These guys think they can keep this up forever. Hezenje takes that place back in P2. Lozano drops back behind. Kalavi overtakes Aguilar, and that is going to be a Spanish, Brazilian, Mexican top three with 4 Argentinian drivers behind them.
Yeah, like you said, it's gonna be fun to see. We're seeing the replay with the Gael and Jackson incidents, and yeah, you can just feel because feel for Pacucci. Roman had nothing to do there. That was impossible to avoid. So sorry for him.
Yeah, I think a lot of people might think that every accident has somebody whose fault it is, but it can be really, really difficult to be aware of everyone around you. You can get pinched, you can come into a turn, and both of you have the racing line, so who's supposed to move? But I'm really impressed that even though we've had those accidents already, the racing up at the front is still so competitive. Look at this, too wide into the turn, and Lozano barely in front of Asenge. These guys are never going to give this P2 spot up until one of them wrecks. And right now, Asenge is about to take it back alongside. He just edges him out. Now, flinging his car around the outside, it's Aguilar, who's going to go 2 places up in one move. This guy might even take the lead here, but Asenge stops him, puts a stop to that one. And, Vasquez is in the lead, but it was almost a P2 there for Lozano. Aguilar, or for Aguilar, man, this is so intense. Lozano dropping back.
It's not over. Let's see.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're not stopping here. It's like 3 wide back there. Aguilar has Asenge right on his tail. I love how hard Jackson is fighting for this P2. He's never giving up.
No, let me tell you, he does not give up. No, almost. No, there's no way.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've raced against Jackson a lot. You know how hard he fights for everything.
Let me tell you, he's not giving up. Let me tell you just that. Look, he's trying to go around the outside right now.
Yeah, he is absolutely never stopping this. So he is in P2 right now, or P3, but he wants that second place back. He's within 2/10, absolutely can make it happen. And the gap between every single racer in the top 10 is absolutely as small as it can be. Sousa and Dean are fighting each other right now. They're going to make that. And there's that P2 taken back by Jackson Asenge. Brazil back in the top 2, and Aguilar still, I maybe can't believe it. He is now closing absolutely pedal to the metal. Coming alongside now, it's going to be his move. He comes up and past, retaking P2. Jackson, he's giving it up, taking it back over and over again. Asenge now making the move again in through the corner. He maintains the lead. Aguilar going to take it back, though, after he gets a really good angle into P2. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and let's see about how Harrison is doing. He's P9 right now. He's on the fight again. P8, look. He's doing great.
Wow, I'm glad you mentioned that. He is now up into P8. He was down by like 2 seconds earlier, and now he's already almost back to where he was earlier. Oh, a big move there. Jackson sends Aguilar back into third, although I'm not going to stop talking about that because it just keeps happening over and over again. Blanat dropping down as Lozano tries to get back up to that P2, P3 where he was at earlier, and Harrison continues to climb. He is so fast, and it's not just that Harrison is fast, it's that he's so much faster than everyone else around him. Aguilar retaking P2 over Hasenje, and now finally it feels like he might have a pretty good position there. Hasenje, actually,
Jackson
no, he's
in the pits.
taking the pit lane. I
That's
wonder
weird.
if that was just because of his damage, but we have fast repair on, so I'm not sure if he just like missed the turn.
Maybe he had a incident penalty, a drive-through.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
yeah,
that.
I'm guessing so. I like to imagine that he just turned in accidentally, but it was probably a drive-through penalty, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see
Yeah,
if he
look at Kieran.
gets back on track. Yeah.
4 wide.
4 wide indeed. Wow, look at that. And he's speeding through there. Actually, no, that's Lozano. Blanat speeding through. Blanat up into P4. Lozano, Calavi, Harrison, Sousa dropping down as Harrison is on a monster drive there. I feel like he's about to make up another place. No, that's Calavi, who's pulling past Lozano into the top 5. And now going to go wide again into this turn. It's going to be so close between these top, 3, 4, 5, 6. Harrison pulls it off, makes a big move into
What a
the
move.
top 5 now. I cannot
Big
believe
five.
that he's right back to where he used to be.
What a move, let me tell you that.
Wow. Oh no! Touching tires!
Oh.
Kulhavi spinning out! Oh man, it was so close there, but he just taps it a little bit too much, loses the front end, spins off the track, and now Kulhavi is out of there, still in the top 10, even still, but needs to get things started. He'll come back and try to make things happen. Now we're watching, I think, Vasquez in the lead, coming up on Aguilar, leading Soriano. Hasenje, unfortunately, after that penalty, will be down into P12. But we saw Harrison down even further, and now he's in the top 5, so anything can happen.
Yeah, I'd like to see how this goes because P2, 3, and 4 will work together. They're friends, they're great guys. But yeah, it's 3 against 1. Let's see how Kieran do because they're gonna let you by. So it's gonna be tough for him.
Yeah, okay, here's Soriano. You said they're working as a team, but Soriano's not. I think he thinks his part of the teamwork is going to be up in P2. Harrison does overtake one of that Argentinian trifecta up into P4 over Blanat. So Aguilar now defending against a Harrison that cannot be stopped. Imagine where he would be if he hadn't spun out earlier or hadn't been involved in that accident. He's had so much adversity this race and is still fighting to then nail on board with Harrison. He gets passed up by Blanat, but he's right alongside. He can absolutely retake that spot. It's kind of a wall of traffic here, and you can see a little bit of a slowdown there as he gets kind of pushed out of P4. Blanat retaking that spot.
Yeah, like I said, they're working together, so Kieran has to be smart here. So maybe if he can avoid trouble, he'll be fine. But let's see, just roll ups until the end. So it's gonna be fun, this.
Yeah, it is super fun to watch. And I mean, even though it might not be fun to race because it's so stressful, so hectic, it's a lot of fun
Oh,
to see
yeah.
such a close
It is.
battle. And yeah, I mean, you know what it's like when you're in there on the track, Kundo. It's like really stressful. But now that you're talking about it, it's just exciting to watch.
I'm having fun. I should do this instead of racing.
Well, we're happy to have you here. Your professional insight, and I guess I should ask. There's Aguilar retakes that second place spot. Soriano Blanat actually going up, and now Harrison, after the battling up at the front, I think he might have a good angle here. Harrison makes the move on Soriano, climbs up into P2, and he actually almost had a run there on maybe P3. Yeah, he's behind Blanat now and closing. His pace is absolutely incredible. unbelievable. I cannot believe how fast he's going, and he's now closing in on Blanad, and Aguilar still has to worry about all that. Oh, a little bit of a lockup in the corner. It's Harrison spinning down. No, a big turnaround there. Harrison almost gets taken out there, but still maintains his position, although it's dropping down into P7.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. We just have to see the replay to see if just Kieran just spun by himself or he crashed against Juan or Sousa. Let's see.
Now this is the Red Bull Ring. It's a track that's infamous for off tracks, for how hard it is to stay within the track limits. So as the race goes on, you know, you do have to keep an eye on that. Also, we already saw Jackson Senjay get a penalty earlier. He's actually in P9 right now, so he's still going to finish in the top 10, which is not bad. But I really feel bad for Kieran Harrison. He's behind Pedro Dean right now, but he's had 2 incidents and he's still in the top 7. Let's watch this replay.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that Formula 4 is not really a Formula 4, it's a tank. Geez, so many crashes and the guy is still there. It's amazing.
Yeah, I cannot believe that. You see a lot of racers that get taken out earlier, just kind of chill out for the rest of the race back at the back. But Harrison is not giving up, and I think he might actually have the opportunity to break back into this top 5. Actually, I mean, we're on the next to last lap, so there's not a lot of time left, but there's still some really, really close races. We're watching Lozano with Dean right behind him. And actually, the battle for P2 is still heating up with Aguilar about to overtake Blanat. Kalavi overtakes Hizenje to get into that P9. So there's still action happening even this far in the race. And even though Blanat's in P2 with Aguilar racing, you can't forget that Aaron Vasquez is 4.5 seconds in the lead, 4.2. So he might win this race, but at least the action continuing. I think Aguilar, I thought he was looking for it there, but can't make the curve or the overtake just there. Still very, very close there. Aguilar and Blanat, unfortunately, I think it would have been more Argentinians up there, but casualties have been high this race so far.
Well, Aguilar might have the opportunity in turn 2 around the outside. We have seen that's the optimal point for overtaking, so let's see right now.
Here we go. Aguilar going for it, and exactly like you said, the crystal ball, Facundo Rock will call it. Yeah, Aguilar in P2, and Blanat now right behind him. Now, honestly, they have worked a little bit together earlier, so who knows who's going to come through down at the wire. This is the white flag, which means that if the race is going to end, it is going to be soon. Blanat now probably the closest racer on field to anyone else. The best opportunity to make this happen about halfway through the final lap. If he's looking at it, it's going to have to happen soon. Is there any gas left in that car? You better use it if you have it here. And I think that's absolutely what he is going to do. It's Vasquez P1 who's going to finish light years ahead of everyone else, with the charge behind by Aguilar and Blanat coming down to the wire. I think Aguilar might just have this.
Yeah, I don't think Juan is gonna risk the P3, but let's see. Maybe. Let's see around the outside.
I mean,
right now.
He might have the opportunity. Spins a little bit, but now he's got a great angle on the inside.
Yep.
He's coming for it. Pedal to the metal. He might have it. Oh my God. Tenths, hundredths between them. The checkered flag flies. Aguilar, Blanat going side by side, but in the end, it's Aguilar who comes through a tenth ahead of Han Blanat. What a finish there at Sousa.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I cannot believe it was that close. I think it was like 3 tenths of a second. That was not as close, but wow. Really exciting end to heat number 1.
Yeah, we've seen a great race.
Really, really fun. Also, I want to say Kieran Harrison finishing P7 after multiple incidents manages to really impress me so far. Zamperlini also ran a pretty good race, even though he had an incident and barely managed to get that reverse grid. So he finishes P14 with Pascucci in P15. Fortunately, Masserat and Gael Valero weren't able to get the reverse grid, so they'll start from the back of the grid in P2. Zamperlini and Masserat just finishing their laps up here. But wow, what an exciting race. What did you think, Facundo, of your very first race as a commentator?
It was intense, let me tell you. There was action all over the place and really fun to see. I hope we have even a better race now in Heat 2.
Yeah, it's a reverse grid coming up. So as Fabio and Pablo Mercerat come through, that is going to be it for our first heat. So let's go ahead and check out our BenQ session winner. Should be popping up on your screen here in just a second. Aaron Vasquez by a mile finishes in P1. It's got to be the racing gloves.
I think, yeah, I'm gonna buy those.
They might be the difference there. Also, he's 11K iRating, so that's also pretty good. He finishes in P1. Thiago Aguilar and Juan Blenat in P2 and 3 on the podium. On down the list, like I said, an incredible run by Kieran Harrison. Through so much adversity, manages to finish in the top 10. Clavi and Hasenje battling it out. Hasenje almost had that P2 spot, but had a penalty and didn't work out for him. So he drops down to P10. Tim State in 11th, the highest placing North American driver. Actually, Mexican driver, Mauricio Lozano, North American there too.
Okay.
That's it for our first race. We're ready to start heat number 2. Off the line is Pascucci, Zamperlini, and Mora. Turn 1 coming up here, so let's see if they can condense into it and make a safe turn happen. Oh, it's going to be dangerous. There it is, the pink livery of Tim State, I want to say, spinning off. Samuel Burnett also going off back to the back. So 2 casualties on through the first turn. Everybody else keeping it pretty competitive.
Yeah, here's the corner of trouble. Let's see now.
Oh yeah, this is the big one. You have to condense so much, and I think everybody makes it. Wow. Okay,
Wow.
I thought that was be way more
That's
difficult. Gael Valero coming up, making up quite a few spots there in the back of the field. Blenat also racing very, very aggressively right next to Kieran Harrison, who you gotta know is thinking that, okay, now it's his time. He's got a great chance to have a good, clean race. Oh, a little bit off the track, onto the gravel. Can make rejoining dangerous there. I think it was Gael maybe, but now he's +5 in the back. Senjay climbing after a great start. And let's take a look at Tim State's incident early on. He's racing in virtual reality, so I guess he might not know how close they are. A big incident on track, too. Another couple of drivers. I think that's Aguilar and Mora.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Aguilar was doing so great this first lap.
Yeah, Aguilar had a great lap. Jackson Asenje also back down there in P8. So somehow Gael Valero, you saw him right there speeding through, like threading the needle, somehow avoiding that crash. Now he is up into P13. Hasenje is in the pits. Everybody else pitting down there. So it's a 14 racer race right now. We're still seeing battles for P3, I guess it is. It's Soriano, Sousa, Calavi coming through with Pascucci and Zamperlini way out in front. So they might not be racing, but everybody else sure is. 3 wide coming through and almost pushing Soriano up there, or Harrison. It's Harrison in the lead, but Blenat right next to him. Aaron Vasquez right next to him. It's Sousa falling back as Calavi, Mercerat, and Vasquez go up. Oh no, it's Calavi falling backwards. Simon Demori passes him up. Gael Valero once again avoids the crash and is up into the top 10.
Yeah, well, top 2 has the opportunity to work together and just maintain this difference with all the pack. But yeah, let's see if they do work together.
I really do. Blanat overtaking Harrison, but realistically, they're right side by side. It could be anybody's race, but they have to get past Soriano, who's gatekeeping that top 3. The battle for P4, P5 is still absolutely heating up. With Guile Valero, he's coming. He finally makes up that place into P10, now up into P9, battling Lozano in the back. We're watching Harrison, Vasquez, and Blanat going toe to toe. This is so close. It's 3 wide, 4 wide in some places. Harrison dropping backwards. Masserat now getting into the action. Harrison down to P7. Vasquez up into the top 5 with Blanat racing right in front of him. Harrison now trying to overtake back into his previous situation. He's closing right beside rear wheel inside Masserat. Almost. Nope, can't get it to hook in there. So he is continuing racing in P7. This is so close. Have you? I can't believe how intense this racing is, Facundo.
It's been great until now. It's going to be tough. Look at Fabio.
Yeah, Fabio even having a battle with Pascucci. They're in P1 and 2, and they could work together, but no, they're still battling it out, which might let Soriano catch up over the next few laps. Fabio P1. This is a guy that's won a lot of races. We talked to him earlier this season because he had done just that. But Pascucci finds the angle on the inside. A dirty move. And Safralini doesn't let him keep it for long. Retaking that, but still so much action. 1 and 2 battling it out. Simon now passing Guile Valero in the back to maintain that top 9's position. Really big drives from both of them, +9 and +7 respectively. So the action continuing for that P4 spot. Blanat, Vasquez, Harrison, Mercerat, Dean. Oh my God, the train of cars racing so hard against each other, and you can tell how badly Harrison wants that P4 spot. He is so close. Vasquez actually really close to Blanat too. And actually, it was Tim Stade who made an overtake on Calavi, who is now kind of dropped off in the back too. So a lot of action everywhere. So we check out that Sousa incident. What do you think about that, Fernando?
I think the red car of, I don't know if it was Soriano, but he made a mistake, and yeah, Sousa paid the price, sadly.
Yeah, a little mistake there, and that means that out of about 20 drivers, we have 11 racing with us competitively up in the front. It's Simon making another place up after a little bit of an incident earlier. He finds himself back in the top 8. Guile Valero climbing past Dean as well. Aaron Vasquez up into the top 4. It's Blanat getting passed up there by Vasquez and Harrison to make up the back of the top 5. Around a very sharp, the hairpin goes everyone. Wow, nobody having to overshoot that and keeping it as close as possible. Vasquez might want to start pulling away, but he's got Harrison right behind him. Battle for P4, P5. Harrison is so determined to make that up, but that's where most of the action is at. Zamperlini, we were talking about him earlier in the lead. Pascucci now 5/10 up on him. So, yeah, glad we can see Harrison right now because he is looking for this angle. He's going to do it after the turn, I'm guessing. And now we're straight on. Oh, I thought he was going to go for it. But where do you think the best opportunity for Kieran might be to overtake coming up on Vasquez?
Turn 2, sorry. Definitely around the outsides, the best spot here to overtake. These guys have to be smart to catch top 3. I think they're working together. They understood that. They have to be patient to catch top 2.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're about halfway through, coming through the finish line right now. So absolutely anything can happen. Fastest lap was Kieran Harrison, taken away by Guile Valero, who's racing with Simon Demori in the back against each other so hard. So it makes sense to see both of those drivers on such fast times, faster than everybody else out there on track. Kieran Harrison now closing the distance on Vasquez, and just on time, there he is, passing Aaron Vasquez into the top 4. Kieran Harrison pulling away now just a little bit. Guile Valero on Masserat overtakes him. Mori right behind him as always. Masserat dropping 2 spots as Guile Valero fighting him for that top 7, top 8. 3 wide indeed, and there it is. They're going head-to-head, side by side. It's Valero past everybody. Nose just barely in front. Mori takes him, overtakes him into the corner, and so close. They keep it nice and clean. But in the end, it's Blanat in front of Mori, in front of Valero, Monserrat, Lozano, now passing side by side. Valero wants past Simon Demori, won't let him. Valero just neck and finally barely in front. I think Mori might take this back, coming around the inside. The corner is his. He does it. It's Simon Demori back into 7th. Gaio Valero right beside him. They go side by side, and in the end, it's Valero trying once again. Simon keeps it by just the narrowest of margins. Simon, like, they're glued together, finally dropping back after what seems like a 30-minute battle. Gaio Valero dropping down into P8. Mori ahead of him, both behind Blanat. What a hard race for both of those racers. Harrison up in the top 4. Oh my God.
Yeah, what a battle. It was so intense.
When you see all that battling, obviously everybody wants this spot, and Vasquez is going to fight for it once again. How do you battle that hard for that long without just destroying your car for the second half of the race?
You can't. So that's why we talk about how you have to be smart in the first half of the race. Like Vasquez and Harrison, they're pushing together to catch top 3, and that's what you have to do. You have to be smart, have to avoid all the incidents, and try to go forward all the time.
Great advice. Yes, going forward. No, Pablo Monserrat makes it past Simon Demori, and so that's where the battle's at right now. Really impressive. I thought this was going to be about Gaio Valero making a huge run, but honestly, Simon is having such a huge race here today, up into the top 7, and it is his home race. He's a Belgian driver, and so he probably knows this part of the Styrian countryside pretty well. For Gaio Valero, he now overtakes. Man, right as I was talking about Gaio Valero, he overtakes Simon and is now up into the top 7. He heard I was talking about him, so he makes up that top 7 run and still going. He's really, really fast lap. Currently the fastest racer on track right now. So we come back through lap 7 to see what he can do to catch Blanat, who's 2.5 ahead. That is that's going to be quite a distance, but I think we'll always have Aaron Vasquez and Harrison racing this whole race.
Yeah, but it's what I said before. Gael, Mori, Mercer, they were at the tail of Juan Blanat. They were right in that train, and then they start to fight each other, and they lost them. So they had to be smart. And yeah, they start to fight. That's not what you want to do so early in the race.
Yeah, and that's great to point out, because it's not just that these guys are racing super hard against each other. It's that you have to think about the rest of the race, right? It's not just about this lap. These cars are going to start wearing the tires, especially as they heat up, as they wear out. All of our racers starting to think about that. Is that always in the back of your mind, Facundo? It's like, oh my God, my tires are going to disintegrate.
I don't think this is the case. The tires just get better and better every lap in this car. But for example, in the Xfinity car, a few moments earlier today, you don't want to fight right at the start of the race. You want to save tires to the end.
Oh, thanks for the information.
It depends on the car.
Well, then, as we end the race here, we still have 4 laps left to go. Hopefully, that's a good prediction for Karen Harrison, because now he has a great car to make up what is a solid second and a half there. Vasquez, though, continuing to race him as hard as possible. Less than a 10th behind. Vasquez is just absolutely inside the back of his car there. 3 cars within a half a second next to each other. And I love that we have the opponent camera here between Karen Harrison and Aaron Vasquez. This is the race we want to watch for forever. Vasquez still right behind him, coming up, right next to him. Still hasn't completely run him off the track yet, but is keeping it very, very close. And it's like you were saying earlier, Facundo, they are really getting helping each other out a lot by racing so closely together.
Well, they catched P3, but I think P1 and P2 are being smart right now, and the clever thing you can do right now is to hold on right now, being Pascucci or Sampelin. They're doing that, and they're doing great. Let's see now, because these guys will be fighting for P3 in 2 or 3 laps.
Yep, fighting right now. Harrison and Vasquez up over Blanat, but I think he might come back up in there. Still super, super close. Simon Demori and Gael Valero still battling each other back there in P7 and 8. And meanwhile, Zamperlini's actually starting to get pretty close to retaking that race lead against Pascucci. So they are racing really tight up there for the P1, P2. Now Vasquez thinks he might have the angle here. Let's see if he can do it. Coming up there. Oh, it's an overtake. The move. Or I thought it was an overtake. No. It's Bladat still just having a few thoughts. Oh, yeah, that's right. Great catch there. Now Bladat over Aaron Vasquez. Oh, my God. Up into P5 over the Spaniard. Gael Valero now coming up with Mori right behind him. We've got now Bladat looking at Harrison saying, okay, I just overtook Aaron Vasquez. You're next. The battles keep continuing for that P4 spot. It's Harrison for now, with Bladat trying to take it, with Aaron Vasquez trying to take it back. Simon also kind of trailing right behind Gael Valero and using that two-car train to really get him so much of an advantage here late in the race. 3 laps to go. Really does belong to everybody. Aaron Vasquez dropping back a place, but still could take that top 5.
Yeah, it's a long race. A lot of laps to go. 3 laps is a lot of time, these cars and these trucks, so anything can happen right now.
That's how you know you're going to be a great commentator, is if you tell the audience anything can happen. It's part of the contract. You have to say that once a race. And there are some races where there's a 2-second difference between everyone. And nothing can happen there. But this race is super close, partially because Vasquez, Bladat, and Harrison have been battling so hard for so long. I thought Bladat was going to get even closer to Harrison there, but he drops back just a little bit. They're still super, super close. So they'll keep it together for as long as they can, and then when it comes down to lap 11 or the white flag, they're just going to absolutely send it. And I think Bladat's sending it right now. He's trying to go around the outside of Harrison. Harrison hits the pedal to the metal, but around the inside comes Bladat. No, it's Harrison retaking it. They are absolutely so side by side, but as Bladat drops back, Harrison retakes that absolutely scary moment. I think Bladat's still going.
Yeah, he is.
I just said they were going to stay as a train until the end of the race, but no. Oh, they didn't get the memo. Okay, so Bladat still trying for it, but I think having Vasquez behind him is almost more motivation because, Vasquez had been up in that P4 and now he's back a couple of spots. So really not only aggressive, but I think he knows when to be patient. So maybe that time is now. Big group there back to the back. Zamperlini closing just a little bit, a couple of hundredths from last time I saw him. Now almost less than 2/10 behind Pascucci. So we can even see a battle for P1 here at the very, very end of the race. But it is very, very long track, so plenty of time. And I'm glad our production is showing you that battle for P1 in the back because, there's a lot happening everywhere on the track. Mori about to overtake Valero. Garrett Harrison setting another fastest lap as he maintains that P4 for now. But it takes consistent fastest laps ever just to hold on to that P4 spot as everyone improves their time coming into the final laps of this race. And here's Kieran Harrison now coming alongside Soriano. He overtakes him for P3.
It's not over yet. Let's see now. Harrison had a great run.
Yeah, that was a
Let's see,
really, really
Blanat
good
is
run.
pushing Soriano right now. Yeah, let's see.
Blanat over Harrison. Okay, yeah. Actually, Soriano and Blanat both getting into the action. Harrison had P3 for a nanosecond, but it's so tight that no one can hold on to it for very long. Blanat now over Harrison again, who might have overdone it just a little bit. But still, absolutely anyone's race. Blanat now over Soriano into P3. He's the new holder of the P3 trophy for now, on board with Kieran Harrison, who was close to making another move onto Soriano, but falls back to P5.
Yeah, it's not over, let me tell you. But Blanat and Soriano will be working together last lap. So, definitely right now in the last lap, Zamperlini will absolutely send it to Roman. Let's see if he can. And I think Harrison will do the same to Juan. And let's see if Soriano can do something about it. And let's not forget about Vasquez. It's right here. Well, Soriano got the position. Let's see Vasquez right now around you. Wow.
Oh
Late
my
braking
God.
by Soriano. Wow.
That is so intense. It's the white flag flying. Sorry about the brief interruption. Thanks for taking over, Facundo. Pascucci in P1, Zamperlini right behind him, but Soriano alongside, trying for P4. He gets Harrison. No, not quite around it. And it's Soriano P5, Harrison P4. Vasquez coming up behind them both. And as this is the final lap, that means everything is on the line here. Soriano, Harrison, they're both neck and neck. Harrison coming along right beside. Is this the move? He might have it here. He gets him just barely in front for now, decently, but look at the move. It's Vasquez coming up behind all of them. In the meantime, it looks like Vasquez wants a piece of the action. He's over Harrison now. Harrison now retaking it side by side through the first half, but the race is coming to an end. Any second now, the checkered flag is going to fly as Pascucci battles Zamperlini for the race win. Coming around the final corner, it's going to be into the pit or into the finish line. Pascucci, Zamperlini, Blanat, Soriano, Harrison, Vasquez. Gaio Valero now bringing up the rear, but oh my God, how close is that? Vasquez, P6 by 0.05 of a second.
What a race. Wow.
We really just got everything. We had intense racing at the front. Right behind them, we had a couple of incidents. We also had the race before this where Kieran was fighting so hard, but had a couple of accidents. Now he really got a chance to show what he was made of. Super, super crazy race, and it's just nonstop action for all 12 laps. Well, I think you said that you were sweating a little bit earlier, Facundo, but even though you weren't racing this time, I think you might still be a little sweaty. I know I'm sweating after all of that.
Yeah, I'm sweating even more.
Well, probably a lot of the guys on track are, a little bit excited after all of that. You have no idea who's going to come home in first place all the way through. Some really incredible racing. It's not just iRacing. It's not just the Formula 4s. It's not just the Red Bull Ring. It's everything all together. Perfect combination here at AMX Global League Season 4. And look at some of these times, right? You had the winner by 0.2. That's pretty close, but not nearly as close as that battle between Kieran Harrison and Aaron Vasquez, decided by 0.5 of a second. Really incredible.
So
top 5 for Kieran. Absolutely well-deserved. He had such an incredible race in Heat 1 that unfortunately didn't go his way after a couple of crashes. Comes back as a huge race from the back of the grid to finish P5. Really, really a great story here. Also, I got to give it to Aaron Vasquez, who it felt like today really had a lot of competition. He won by like 5 seconds, and now he comes here and it's intense battling the whole way. So just because he's really, really good doesn't mean that everyone isn't good. You can see how good everyone is here today. But hey, Facundo, it must have been you must have been a good luck charm. 4 Argentinian drivers in the top 5.
I feel represented. Let me tell you that. It was a great race. The guys did really, really good, and I'm happy for them. Roman is a great guy, and he deserves.
Yeah, and it was great to have you along with us, Facundo. So this is a time where we are gonna maybe close things out and try to do an interview. So I think we are gonna, let's see, I think maybe I can drag you around in here. Actually, I'll let our production kind of take care of all of that. I think I'm going to go over and try to do an interview. So we're going to send you out of here for a second. We'll come back and talk to you at the end. I didn't explain this earlier, but I think we might be able to interview Roman. So just go ahead and mute real fast, and we'll head into our first interview in just a second. Oh, I actually lied, because I'm still figuring out who we're going to interview. This is the most fun part. I'm sure you know, every time we ask you for an interview, Facundo, it's like we're trying to find out who we're hunting. So it looks like we have Toby Soriano is coming in here for an interview. So we're going to him in just a second. Okay, we're still. All right, I'm a little blurry. I'll try to work on that. But hello, I want to welcome for the first time in AMX Global League Season 4, Tobias Soriano. How are you feeling?
Hi guys, thank you for the welcome. I'm feeling good. A little exhausted for the race. Well, first of all, sorry about my English. I think it's not very good. Sorry, I had bad English, but it was a very tough race, very funny too, with Roman, Aaron, Kieran, Santiago, Juan. I have to congrats them for the race too.
Yeah, you mentioned a lot of great racers and a lot of Argentinian racers doing very, very well this race. So what is your story? How did you get involved in the sim racing scene?
Oh, I started from, I think, 2010 on Air Factor with a series called Turismo Carretera. And you know, Agustin Canapino from the IndyCar, they born there, so we start racing with Air Factor, and I jump in iRacing on 2018. I started racing with Juan Blainat. He helped me a lot, and I'm very grateful for that.
Well, now you're here racing in AMX Global League. You've done a lot of other racing. How is AMX different from the other races that you've participated in?
Oof, they are so intensive. We all want to win the races and money too, especially Argentinian drivers. Which is so difficult here, the situation in the country with the economy. So we race for fun. We try to enjoy the races, but otherwise we want to make money too.
Well, you did a great job at that. I think you finished P4 in the second heat, but that was a really aggressive race. So, do you feel like really tired after racing so much?
Yeah, I'm so sweaty right now. I have to take a bath. So, yeah, it was very funny. With a good pace. So we will see tomorrow with the GTE. I hope to I can race. So I hope to see you guys tomorrow.
All right. Well, congratulations on doing so well today. Good luck tomorrow, and we'll see you then.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Sorry about my English.
It's fine. It's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you to Toby for joining us for that interview. Looks like we are now going to move to our second interview coming up next. Just a second.
Okay.
The meeting.
Okay. Looks like we are ready to go. All right. Let me just go ahead and welcome to AMX for the first time my fellow North American, Samuel Burdett. Samuel, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, I think.
Tim State has left the meeting.
Okay. Well, bye, Tim. Well, yeah, we've seen you race a couple times in AMX this season. What is your sim racing story? How did you get started and find your way here to AMX?
Well, my sim racing story, I started off back 2012, got the Forza Motorsport from the Xbox for free, and that's kind of what got me hooked.
Okay.
But then AMX, I was scrolling Instagram once and I saw an ad for it, and I was like, that looks like a good time, and that's what kind of brought me here.
It is a good time, but also it's kind of tough sometimes, especially with the reverse grid. What's it like to get out there and fight against these other racers on track?
It's tough. I mean, the guys in this league are like a lot faster than the guys I'm used to racing against. That's for sure. And then with the mixed grid, I mean, like that really throws a curveball in there. I mean, it helped me out today, but then it also didn't. So it was kind of, I mean, it's fun. It is fun, but it is also definitely competitive and a lot of aggression.
I've talked to a lot of people who say that when you race against like really, really good racers, you start to learn a lot and kind of level up your game. Have you noticed some improvement in the last few months of sim racing for you?
Definitely. I think 100%. I think that's one of the main reasons I wanted to be a part of this league, was because I knew there was going to be some high class drivers, and that competitiveness was going to make me push myself a little bit harder and watch their line. Actually, during practice today, I was watching the guys that were putting up the top 2, top 3 times, and that's kind of, I gained almost half a second just in practice, just by watching them and following what they were doing. So no, it definitely is it's an improvement for sure.
Yeah, it's really cool to see just so much learning going on. I mean, it's a fun race too, but a lot to see out there. Now, before we go, I just want to give you an opportunity to do a shout out, because I was looking for some eco fashion and fitness advice. And wow, what do you know? Samuel Burnett's out there to hook us up. So, what else do you have going on besides sim racing?
Well, I do. I have a fashion brand that's focused on the eco-friendly side of it, and that's on all of my cars. I've made a custom design for each of these races so far to make sure I put that logo on there somewhere. And at the moment, that's really all I've got going on. I mean, I play hockey, I work out, but for the most part, my side gig is SBS Eco Fashion.
All right, well, there's your shout out. Thanks for joining us today. I hope to see you back in the future, and good luck pursuing your sim racing journey.
Thank you.
All right, those were the interviews. Want to go ahead and give Facundo Rago one final chance to sign up. It was great having you here today. Great race in the first half and excellent commentary as always.
Thank you. I had fun. So thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me race as well. The Xfinity race was awesome. I felt amazing. And the race after that was even better. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, maybe we'll get you back here again in the future. And whenever we see you back in AMX, good luck in your racing. And can't wait to get back out here and do it again, which will be tomorrow. Are you going to be racing tomorrow, Facundo?
No, sadly I won't.
Okay, well, that's less exciting than I thought. But in place of Facundo, we're going to have a lot of these racers and a whole lot more coming out into AMX, so you do not want to miss it. If you want to sign up to see any of these guys, then you absolutely can get your name on our AMX 10 top 10 post-race results. Number one, Kieran Harrison. Man, that guy worked for it. $58 and $54.52, so close between all three of Kieran Harrison, who finishes P1, Aaron Vasquez, P2, and Roman Pascucci, who finishes P3, with some really, really big totals there. Juan Blanat also finishes P4, and Toby, who we got a chance to talk to earlier, finishes P5. So that's the top 10. If you want to get your name on there, then amxrace.com is the place to do it. I want to give a big thanks to Facundo Rago for not only racing, but also commentating with me. Huge shout out to our production team way back in the back for all of the awesome angles and everything else you see on your screen. Thanks to the rest of the racers, the viewers, and everyone in between for being a part of AMX Global League Season 4. If you want to be a bigger part, check us out on Instagram and Twitter. You can see the links right down there below. Join the conversation in the AMX Global Discord, which you can also find the link for. Give us a subscription or a follow on Twitch or YouTube, and come race with us at amxrace.com. That's it for today. We're coming back here tomorrow, so I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching. See you next time.